This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Hey photographer, Jessica Whitaker here, and in today's video we are going to be comparing the 35mm focal length up against the 50mm focal length for a couple photo shoot. The exact lenses that we use today will be linked in the description box below, as well as the full set of images if you want to look at them up close. The brand is irrelevant though when it comes to this video because we are just focusing on the focal length. So keep an open mind, and hopefully this will be able to direct you to what lens you might want to add to your collection. This is my second photo shoot since February when lockdown started, and we are taking all of the appropriate precautions. So if you are going to be working with clients, please make sure that you are following the CDC guidelines. Before we get into the video, I want to thank our sponsor Squarespace for making this possible.
A photo speaks 1,000 words, but a polished and professional portfolio can get us those $1,000 clients. Enter Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for websites and domains. Photographers, it's time to be done settling for slow-loading websites with tedious plugins. I trust Squarespace's all-in-one platform to keep me booked and busy. Pick from one of their dozens of contemporary drag-and-drop layouts, host your custom domain and email with them, and even conduct successful email campaigns. Everything you need to run a successful photography business under their umbrella and at your fingertips. You can head to squarespace.com to begin your free trial, and when you are ready to launch your beautiful professional website, you can go to squarespace.com/Jessica Whitaker to get 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain.
Let's start out with a really basic pose, and this will be able to demonstrate the difference between the 35 and the 50 focal length for just standard full body images.
Because this is a lens comparison video, I'm standing in the same spot for both the 35 and then when I switch to the 50mm. Now, with the 35, you're able to capture more of the environment and of the backdrop, the landscape in your shot, which can either highlight the location or create more of a lifestyle photo, whereas the 50 is more for portraits. Now, of course, you could move back to get more of the environment in your shot with the 50mm, but this is just the perfect way to kick off the video to demonstrate a true side-by-side comparison where I'm standing in the same shot. So you can see here in these images the difference, and I want to know from you, comment down below which one you prefer for the staircase shot, let's call it. Now it's time for some backlighting. So we're starting with the 35 and then I'm switching to the 50, standing in the same spot to get the same image for that true lens comparison side by side. So I prefer the 50 in these shots with the backlighting because the focus is completely on the couple and the backlighting is simply a beautiful almost lens effect and gives a soft glow, but it's still highlighting the couple. Whereas with the 35, your eyes go all around the frame because there's more of the environment in the shot, and the lens flare from the backlighting is an additional distraction almost. However, distraction isn't always bad. It can be really beautiful, especially if you have a gorgeous backdrop and you want your clients to almost look harmonious with it, then I think it's great. But you can kind of see my point and you can make a judgment call from there. Which do you prefer though in these backlighting shots? Let me know in a comment, 35 or 50. I prefer the 50, but I can also see the beauty of the 35.
What we're gonna use is the Unscripted posing app, which actually Felicia, we were talking about, is going to, she's also a photographer, it's going to literally change your life. So we're gonna go to poses, where are we at? And then it has all these different options.
Last, for the lens comparison, we are doing some closer up torso shots, starting out with a 35, and then we'll be switching to the 50. And in the side-by-side comparison, you can see the difference. I think that the 50 is so much more appropriate in this setting, but you can make the 35 work. However, the 35 is going to warp your image on the four corners because it is technically a wide angle lens. So you have to be really particular about where you're going to place the couple in the frame. You usually want to have them in the middle, at least their faces, so that nothing is stretched out and looks a little bit off. And with the 35, as with the 50, you can do a lens correction in post, but it's not going to change much if your clients are way off to the side and their face or part of their body is a bit stretched because that wide angle is pulling it out. So you need to be really mindful if you are just only using a 35 at a shoot. If this is all you have in your collection, you need to be really careful about where you place your subjects for these closer up shots. If you're trying to decide between the 50 and the 35 to have in your lens collection, and let's say you are starting from 0, I would encourage you to go for the 50 millimeter. I think it's going to be a lot more versatile where you can get those wider shots, but then also use it for portraits without having to think too much about placing them particularly in the middle of the image, making sure that you do lens correction. You're just going to have a lot less work on your hands, both at the shoot and after in editing, because the 50 is a portrait lens. The 35 is technically not a portrait lens, but it has become very popular because of social media and Facebook groups. However, if you already own a 50 mil and you're looking for a wide angle lens because you want to capture a ton of the environment, skip the 35 and go for a 24 millimeter. If you want a lens that you can use during couple shoots, portraits, but also in your personal travels, let's say, where you can capture the environment, but you could still use it to accommodate some portraits, the 35 would be a good fit for you. Both are fantastic, but they both have their time and place. So to conclude my personal opinion, if you're starting from 0, go with a 50. I have lots of videos where I compare 50 1.8 to 1.4 to 1.2. I would say to begin with that, and then consider my advice on the wide angles between a 24 or a 35.
All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some guidance to what lens you might want to add to your collection. Be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new photography tutorials for your business come out. You can also find me over on Instagram at Jessica Whitaker for daily tips, tools, and resources to grow your photography business. You can also join the Build and Bloom Facebook group. It's a kind, encouraging, and inclusive free photography community. If you want to try out the Unscripted posing app for yourself, you can use the code Jessica at checkout to save $20. I believe in you and your business, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.